Not all motorcycle riders are created equal. Some live for the ride, some live for the look, and some live to ruin meetups with stories no one asked for. We've got cruisers, stunters, ADV nerds, track day heroes, Café Racers, and everything in between. And every group swears they're the real riders. So today, we're ranking them from worst to best, based on reputation, attitude, ride culture, and how much the rest of us secretly love or hate seeing them roll up. It's not fair, it's definitely not polite, but it's honest. These are the motorcycle subcultures ranked by real riders. Brace yourself, someone's getting offended. Number 12, the Squid Brigade, last place. You knew this was coming. If there's a rider stereotype that makes everyone look bad, it's the Squids. Bright neon sport bike, no gear, tank top flapping in the wind, shorts, maybe some Nike slides if we're lucky, and a GoPro, mounted so crooked it looks like found footage when they crash. Squids are the reason sport bike insurance is through the roof. They treat every freeway on-ramp like it's a qualifying lap and every red light like a chance to stunt on strangers. And the worst part, they think they're impressing people. Spoiler alert, nobody's impressed. We're just waiting for the low side. Yes, we get it, you've got throttle. But you also have no gear, no plan, and no self-preservation instinct. You treat traffic like an obstacle course and pedestrians like moving cones. But here's the real damage. They make sport bike riders look like idiots. People see one squid fly by on a clapped-out R6 and assume everyone on a super sport is a maniac. And that hurts the entire riding community. Do some of them grow out of it? Sure, eventually. After the third wreck and $1,000 deductible. But while they're still out there raw dogging the pavement and treating highways like Instagram reels, they're dead last on this list. Earned it. Number 11, the Café Racer crowd. Look, we get it. Vintage is cool. Leather jackets are cool. Minimalism is cool. But if you ever walked through a bike meet and seen a rider kicking a stripped-down CB550 for the 6th time while trying to explain that kickstarting's a vibe, you've met the Café Racer crowd. These are the riders who will spend $7,000 on a 40-year-old bike and another $3,000 deleting everything that made it usable. Fenders, gone. Mirrors, tiny circles the size of coins. Turn signals, who needs them? All in the name of aesthetic purity. The Café Racer subculture looks amazing on Instagram. It looks amazing parked. But when it's time to actually ride, things get questionable. That slammed seat might look good in photos, but good luck on a 45-minute ride. Those clip-ons are cool until your wrists give out. And if it starts raining, forget it. You got no protection, no storage, and probably no idea how to fix that old electrical system you rewired yourself at 2 a.m. But here's a twist. They care. A lot. Too much, maybe. They love their machines. They obsess over them. And that's worth something. They got taste, even if they sacrificed rideability to get it. Café Racers aren't the worst, but they're definitely more style than substance, and that's why they land near the bottom. Beautiful to look at, hard to live with. Number 10, the Chrome Cult. Classic cruiser bros. These are the riders who never met a surface they didn't want to polish. Everything is chrome. Chrome bars, chrome pipes, chrome levers, chrome skull valve caps. Their bikes weigh 800 pounds and half of that is reflection. The Chrome Cult doesn't ride fast. They ride proud. They pull up slow, park diagonally, kill the engine with theatrical flair, and just stand there, looking, waiting, hoping someone asks about the bike so they can say, "Yeah, I done a few mods." It's all about the image, the real biker look. The leather vest, the chain wallet, the permanent scowl, even if the bike only sees 1,000 miles a year. But let's give credit where it's due. These riders love their machines. They clean them like shrines. They've named them. They don't care about lean angles or lap times. They care about the vibe. And in a world of faceless commuters, that kind of identity is worth something. Still, there's a reason they rank low. Some of them, not all, but enough, treat anyone who doesn't ride a V-twin like they're not a real rider. If it's not American, loud, and 600 pounds minimum, it doesn't count. That gatekeeping is old. The bike posturing is tired, and at some point we all realized shiny doesn't mean skilled. You can ride chrome, just don't ride it like it makes you better than everyone else. Number 9, the Moto Influencers. Ah, yes, the content creators, the vloggers, the helmet cam heroes. These are the riders who spend more time editing than riding, and when they do hit the road, it's usually in search of the perfect camera angle, not the perfect corner. They've got gear. Oh, they've got the gear. Coordinated jackets, reflective visors, custom graphics, multiple camera mounts, and a bike that's been built more for thumbnail views than real use. If you see someone circling a gas station 5 times at golden hour, it's this crew. Now let's be fair, some moto influencers are genuinely good riders. They bring people into the sport, educate beginners, and capture the magic of riding in ways that inspire others. That matters. But too many of them are just chasing clicks, not miles. They'll take a dozen selfies for every actual curve they ride, and their idea of a long ride is the 15-minute loop between scenic pull-offs. Worst of all, a few pretend to be experts when they've barely learned the basics themselves. It's all show, no substance. And while their bikes look amazing in reels, half the time they're stocked with a sticker kit and a borrowed story. The influencer crowd isn't evil. They're just caught between riding for themselves and performing for everyone else. And if they ever stop chasing the algorithm long enough to actually ride, they might just climb higher on this list. Number 8, ADV crowd, adventure riders. ADV riders are the Boy Scouts of motorcycling. Always prepared, always equipped, and always 3 gear purchases away from becoming a full-blown expedition. They've got crash bars, panniers, auxiliary lights, tank bags, dry bags, backup batteries, and a paracord bracelet they've never used, but might need someday. They roll up to a coffee stop looking like they just crossed a desert, even if they only rode in from the suburbs. Their bikes are covered in dirt or, more often, strategically applied dust from last month's 2-hour fire road session. They'll tell you their GS or Africa Twin can go around the world, and maybe it could, but 90% of the time, it goes to work, to Starbucks, and back to the garage. Still, you can't hate them. These folks are passionate. They love the journey. They geek out over maps, routes, and gear like kids in a candy store. And when they do hit the trails for real, they know their stuff. Some of the best technical riders you'll ever meet live in this category. But they land mid-pack for one reason. The gear obsession sometimes overshadows the riding. When your setup costs more than a used Ducati and you need an app to start your motorcycle stove, maybe it's time to simplify. That said, ADV riders are usually friendly, smart, and welcoming. They're out there exploring, and they want you to come along. Just be ready to talk about tire pressure for 40 minutes first. Number 7, the touring tankers, long-haul riders. These are the riders who don't just ride, they cruise continents. If it doesn't have cruise control, heated grips, and a backrest big enough to land a plane on, it's not worth their time. Their bikes are massive, their seats are thrones, and their glove compartments have more storage than your car's trunk. Touring riders don't mess around. They've seen more of the country than most people will in a lifetime. They got 100,000 miles on the odometer and zero interest in shaving a tenth of a second off their lap time. They'll ride 500 miles in a day and still wave at every single rider they pass. Total legends. They also tend to be the most zen of any riding group. Why? Because they've already done the Squid phase. They've survived the fast bikes, the dumb decisions, the Instagram years. Now they're in it for the ride, the view, the roadside diner, the hotel with motorcycle parking out front. But they rank in the middle for a reason. They don't always vibe with the younger crowd. Some are set in their ways. Some scoff at anything that doesn't have a fairing and a stereo. And a few still believe motorcycles peaked with carburetors and cassette players. Still, touring riders command respect. They're consistent, experienced, and actually rack up the miles most people just talk about. You might not want to ride what they ride, but deep down, you kinda hope you're like them when you hit that age. Number 6. The Stunters. The real ones, not the criminals. Let's be crystal clear up front. We're not talking about the clowns doing wheelies through traffic, blowing red lights, or filming near misses for likes. That's not stunting. That's just being a reckless idiot. Those riders aren't part of a subculture. They're part of a problem. What we're talking about here are the real stunters, the ones who train in lots, wear gear, cage their bikes, and actually treat it like a discipline. These riders have next-level control. They're not fast in a straight line. They're masters of balance, throttle finesse, and body positioning. They treat slow-speed precision like an art form, and honestly, it is. Their bikes are stripped-down tools, not showpieces. You'll see dented tanks, crash bars, chopped plastics, but every mod has a purpose. These riders crash a lot, but they crash smart. They practice hard, and they get really good. That's why they rank where they do, not because of the chaos clowns on Instagram, but because of the handful of true technicians in the scene who can make a bike do things that blow your mind. The ones doing 12 o'clock wheelies in traffic with no plates and a death wish, they're not stunters, they're liabilities, and they don't belong on this list at all. Number 5, the laid-back cruiser riders. These are the riders who don't care what you ride, how fast you go, or how technically perfect your line through a corner is. They're not here for bragging rights, they're here for the ride, the vibe, and the peace and quiet between gas stops. They roll on V-twins, sometimes Harleys, sometimes Indians, sometimes just some budget cruiser that still runs like a champ. But, unlike the Chrome cult, they're not trying to prove anything. Their bikes might be loud, but they're not revving at stoplights. They've got some mods, but it's not a parts catalog in motion. They just ride. Consistently, confidently, casually. These folks are easy to be around. They'll talk bikes with anyone, wave at every rider, and happily pull over for a snack or a scenic view. No ego, no lectures, just chill energy and a throttle hand that knows exactly what pace feels good. And yeah, some of them like old school gear, loud pipes, and riding without a windshield. But they also respect the road, respect other riders, and don't feel the need to compete with anyone. That puts them above half the list. If your group includes one of these folks, keep them around. They're probably carrying tools, snacks, and a story that'll make the next rest stop way more interesting. Next up, the riders with knee sliders, GoPros, and a day pass to the land of lean angles. Track day junkies. Time to rank them. Number 4, the track day junkies. These are the riders who live for the lean angle. If they're not talking about apexes, tire compounds, or suspension settings, they're probably dead, or reviewing helmet cam footage from last weekend's session at the track. They don't just ride, they analyze. Their bikes are clean but beat up in all the right ways. Scratched fairings? That's character. Safety wire on bolts? That's love. They know their sag settings better than their blood type, and they can tell you the torque spec of every bolt on their rear set, because they've replaced it 5 times. But here's the thing. They're good. Like, really good. And they earned it. These riders put in the work. They train, they study, they crash, they rebuild. And they come back smoother, faster, and more focused every time. They're also some of the safest riders out there, because when you've spent hours perfecting your braking zone at 120 miles an hour, you tend to have pretty damn good control at 45 on a back road. They understand limits, and they know how to ride within them. So, why aren't they higher? Because some of them are exhausting. They'll critique your body position while standing in line for gas. They'll ask you about your tire pressure during lunch, and if you say, "I don't ride track," they'll look at you like you said, "I use cooking spray as chain lube." Still, they deserve respect, because while the rest of us are playing checkers, they're out there playing MotoGP on a budget, and looking good doing it. Number 3, the sleeper sport bike crowd. These riders don't talk much, they don't post, they don't show up with flashy gear or race replicas. But when the road starts to curve, they disappear. No drama, no revving, no ego. Just smooth lines, perfect throttle control, and a skill level that makes everyone else look like they're in slow motion. Sleeper sport bike riders usually roll in on beat-up GSXRs, bone stock R1s, or older CBRs with faded fairings and zero decals. You think, that guy probably doesn't ride much. And then you watch him lean so far into a corner he could high-five a mailbox. These riders aren't out to impress. They're out to ride well, and they do. These are the ones who can drop a knee in jeans, pass you mid-corner with room to spare, and still have enough attention left over to wave at the next rider coming the other way. They know their machines inside and out. They have worn-down sliders, not sliders they bought last week. Their tires are always at the edge, their braking is surgical, and they never talk about it, which honestly makes it even more intimidating. If they have a flaw, it's that they make it look too easy. People ride over their heads trying to keep up, and that's when crashes happen. But don't blame them. They didn't invite you to chase. They just ride hard, ride quiet, and leave behind a trail of confused egos. Number 2, the small bike squad. If joy could be bottled and sold, it would probably come with 12-inch wheels and a 125cc engine. The small bike squad. Groms, Monkeys, Z125s, even old Rebels and Scooters are the kings of chaos and community. These riders aren't here to win races. They're here to ride like absolute menaces at 38 miles an hour. They lane split like squirrels, rip through parking lots like they're dodging security, and make every trip to the gas station a full-blown event. What makes them so great? They don't care what anyone thinks. While other riders are flexing torque curves and suspension setups, these folks are wheeling past them in Crocs with a Bluetooth speaker blaring 80s synth pop. And they're welcoming. Show up on a 300, they'll wave you in. Ride a Harley? They'll still ask if you want to cruise around the city on a donut run. The small bike crew doesn't gatekeep. They just ride, smile, and post ridiculous group photos with captions like, "Grom squad is greater than your squad." Are their bikes fast? No. Are they safe? Sometimes. Are they more fun than half the leader bikes on the road? Absolutely. And the only reason they're not number 1, because the chaos isn't for everyone. But honestly, even if you ride something big, you probably want a Grom just to join the party. Only one spot left. Let's name the best subculture in all of motorcycling and explain why they deserve the crown. Ready? Number 1, the Ride Everything, Judge Nothing crew. You've seen them. Sometimes they show up on an old beater. Sometimes it's a pristine ADV rig, a cruiser, a naked bike, or something totally weird like a dual sport with saddlebags and zip ties. Doesn't matter, because this crew rides everything, and they don't give a damn what you ride as long as you're riding. These are the maturest, chillest, most down-to-earth people in the motorcycle world. They've done the cross-country trips. They've dropped bikes, fixed them, and probably owned every major brand at some point. And now, they just ride, with zero ego. They'll compliment your Grom, they'll chat about your Hayabusa, they'll help you adjust your chain or lend you a quart of oil at a gas station. They might not post much, but they've probably ridden more miles than anyone in your group chat combined. You know why they're the best? Because they're the glue. They welcome everyone. They know every bike has a purpose, every rider has a journey, and every group ride should end with laughter, not bragging rights. They don't need to prove they're real riders, they already know they are. And if you hang around long enough, they'll teach you without saying a word, just by how they ride, how they act, and how they treat other people. This is the top tier. No noise, no drama, just bikes, respect, and the road. Every rider fits somewhere, but not all spots are equal. Some ride for clout, some ride for chaos, and some ride because it's in their blood. Disagree with this list? Good. Drop your rankings in the comments and let's hear where you think each crew belongs. Just don't be a squid about it.